If you're thinking, I just need more leads, I just need more eyeballs, I need more traffic, this episode might lovingly shake you a little bit. And I say this with so much respect because I have been behind the scenes of so many businesses at this point, six figures, multiple six, seven, eight. And the thing that almost everyone defaults to when revenue feels inconsistent is we need more people. Well, today we're talking about the no new lead strategy. So stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to the show. It's Michelle. So here's a question for you. What was the last time you made a sale and then immediately started thinking about where your next new customer was coming from? We all do it. Someone buys, we celebrate for a hot second, and then we go right back to, okay, how do I get more people in the door? But here's what I want to ask you. What about the person who just bought from you? What else could you offer them? What's their next step with you? Because here's what I see all the time. Business owners are out there hustling for new leads, spending tons of money on ads, grinding on social media, just trying to get seen. When they have people who have already said yes, they've already pulled out their credit card, and they already trust you enough to invest. And those buyers, they are being completely ignored. Well, today we're going to be talking about the no new lead strategy. And I'm going to show you how to multiply your revenue, not by chasing new people, but by actually maximizing the people who already bought from you. Because the fastest path to more revenue isn't getting more customers. It's getting more out of the customers you already have. And before you think like, oh, this is sleazy, this is salesy, it is not. This is about serving your clients at the highest level and giving them exactly what they need next. All right. So let's dive in. Now, I am not saying that you don't need new customers. So don't misunderstand me by any point, because obviously you do, right? You need people to discover you, to enter into your world, to become buyers. But what I am saying is that the most business owners are so focused on customer acquisition that they completely neglect the customer maximization. And that is what's costing you so much money that you may not even have funk, right? So think about it. You spend all this time, energy, money, right? Actual dollars getting people to buy from you. They go through your funnel. They experience your offer, they get results, and then what? You move on to the next person. And guess what? So they, right? And meanwhile, that buyer who already knows you, already trusts you, they already got value from what you do, they could be buying from you again. They could be ascending to your next level offer. They could be referring people to you, and they could become a VIP client. But none of that is happening because you're too busy chasing the next person. This is the trap I see people fall into over and over again. And I have been behind the scenes of all these businesses to know the ones who actually scale sustainable, right? They're not constantly hunting for new blood. They're nurturing and maximizing the people who already said yes. Now, a perfect example of this, and really what prompted me to record this episode, is I just signed up for a coaching program that's 6 months. And that is run by coaches within the company, not like the influencer or the main person that it's actually their company, right? Well, 1 month in, they invited me to join their mastermind. That's also 6 months. It's a higher touch coaching with the founder, the influencer, right, that I bought the program from. And you better believe that I'm actually thinking about it, right? I don't even know how much it costs. I don't know all the things. However, it got me thinking, wow, that's quick, right? So I had a conversation a few months ago with one of my business besties, and she gets incredible results for her people. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's great. So after your time together, then what happens? Like I want to hear more about success. Like, what is their next level? She goes, oh, well, I don't have anything. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like I was like beside myself. I'm like, wow, you're getting them results. They're happy with you, but then there's nothing else for them to continue their journey with you. Because I'm sure if you let them here, oh my gosh, can you imagine now that it's in flow and you got the rhythm going, what can you do to optimize to even monetize even more, right? And a lot of times, or most of the time, we're always thinking like, hey, once they go through my cohort, or my program that's 6 months, 12 months, 3 months, whatever yours is, then we're thinking about it then. But in this program that I just signed up for, notice how I said I was only 1 month in and they're already approaching me to go deeper, to spend more, right? So how many times have you invested in a program that you don't get one-on-one access to that person that you thought you would, right? So this is an example of how you can get a new buyer to ascend very quickly, paying you more without even waiting for them to finish that program first. Crazy, right? So let me break down where the actual money is when you implement the no new lead strategy. Okay. So first is the ascension. This is when someone buys your entry level offer and you have a clear path to move them up to that next level. Maybe you bought their course and now you're ready for group coaching. Maybe they bought your DIY program and now they want done with you, right? Or done for you. Or maybe they bought a one-time service and now they're ready for a retainer. Okay. So this ascension is so much easier than a cold sale because this person already got results with you. They already have experienced your approach. They've already trust you that they know that you can actually help them. There's that objection of like, can you really help me do this? Or I've been with other coaches before, whatever that looks like. All of that is gone. Okay. It just makes perfect sense for them to continue on their journey with you as their guide. You already know their business. You already have, like, they won't have to start over with someone new. Okay. So the second option is a VIP option. Okay. So this is creating a premium or higher touch version of what you already offer for people who want to go faster and get more support. And I see this work incredibly well. It's like someone buys your program, they're loving it, but they want more access to you. So you offer them this VIP upgrade. Maybe it's like private Voxer access. Maybe it's monthly one-on-one calls, right? Maybe it's personalized implementation support. This VIP add-on can literally double or triple what someone invests with you. And they actually want it because they're already seeing the results. They know that if they can just have that conversation with you, get your eyeballs on their stuff, it will just make them move faster. Okay. The key here is to get access to you. So if that's aligned with how you choose to run your business, this could be a really great option. And you may not run this all the time. It could be a seasonal thing. So if you're like, wait, I am not down with having all these one-on-one calls or whatever that looks like, you could open it up as seasonal. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Don't throw everything I say away. Just think like, how might I make this work for me? Okay. Number 3 are resells. So your buyers need to buy from you again. Okay. That is what I want you to be thinking about for the rest of the year. Like, how can I get my buyers to buy from me again? Maybe it is the same offer if it's a recurring service. Maybe it's a different offer that solves their next problem. But either way, selling to someone who already bought from you is exponentially easier than to selling to someone who's never even invested with you before, right? So if you have a 3-month or a 6-month program, a lot of those people think, okay, I am done after the 6 months, right? Right. However, we all know that that is never the case. And I feel pretty confident saying that that's never the case because there's always that next level devil, right? There's always next level. So a lot of people take a long minute to even get started. And once they do, and they get in this flow and they build momentum, they need support to keep up that momentum. They have more questions to be answered. They have a different level of conversation that needs to be had. So they need they need to have a different container. And here's something that works beautifully. We've done this with several of my clients. Let's say you have a DIY course that you sold, I don't know, let's just say $497. And then you come to them even long after they bought, okay? And say, hey, I am running this live cohort, like this live group from this day to this day, where I'm going to walk you through implementing not only the course, but with some updated strategies or updated techniques or whatever that looks like. and I'm going to offer it to you for $200, right? That is basically a no-brainer because it's a fraction of the original price to get you help, right? So that's an extra $200 that you would not have gotten from that customer who already bought, right? And you're doing this as a group coaching. So it shouldn't take you all this ton of time. And if you commit to 4 weeks or 6 weeks, think about if even if you did 1 hour for that 4 or 6 times per week, right? One time per week in that 4 to 6 week time frame, that's amazing money, right? And if you're thinking, well, wait a minute, Michelle, what if they already finished the course? Okay. I can guarantee if you look at statistics, I probably should have looked this up before I recorded this. However, I can guarantee you that maybe 10 to 20% of the people who buy your course actually complete it. I know it's sad to say because we spend all this time creating it. We know it gets amazing results. However, most people don't complete it. They need to be held accountable. So that's why it's like, even bring people back in because they might say, hey, you know what? I did sign up for that thing and I never did it. And I really know that it can get me results. I need someone to kind of hold my hand. I wish I had more support, but this was a DIY. Now I have somebody where it's telling me what to do every week. It's holding me accountable, right? Even if you don't personally hold them accountable, they know that they need to show up for that next call with XYZ done, right? I am telling you, it works, right? And if you say, I'm offering updated strategies or what's working now, that gets even people who may have implemented and are doing it. Well, now they get access to you. They can ask any questions and they get whatever's working right now. So that is amazing. Okay. So number 4 are referrals. This one is so underutilized. Your happy clients know other people who have the exact same problems that they had or have. And when they get the results with you, they want to share them. But most business owners never really ask for the referrals, or they ask once in a weird, awkward kind of way and never bring it up again, right? So if they don't feel uncomfortable asking for referrals, the reason they don't is because they don't have a system for it, meaning that they don't know how or when to ask and they don't know how to keep track of everything. Okay. And I'm talking about the coaches who are setting up these referral programs. Now, this one thing I love about Optima Funnels is that there's a really nice affiliate management system in there that keeps like track of everything, keeps everything nice and organized. And it's also easy for your affiliates to get their assets. They can see what leads and sales came in, and it's easy for you to do the affiliate payout. The key is to make referring people so super easy for your clients. That's having any email swipe copy, any social posts, maybe even some creatives, possibly even having a workshop or a masterclass that they can just invite people to, right? When you have this systematic approach to getting referrals from your buyers, you're essentially turning your clients into your sales team. And those are warm referrals, not cold leads that you have to nurture for months, right? Here's what you need to understand. A buyer is not the same as a lead, right? A lead raised their hand and they said, yes, I am interested. That's great. But a buyer actually opened their wallet, pulled out that credit card and said, I trust you with my money and my future, right? That is a completely different level of commitment. And once someone becomes a buyer, the likelihood of them buying from you again goes up dramatically. The stats vary depending on the industry, but it's something like 60 to 70% easier to sell to an existing customer than to acquire a new one, right? So when you're sitting there thinking like, I need more leads in my funnel, I want you to pause and ask yourself, have I maximized the buyers that I already have? Because if the answer is no, you do, and if you do not have this ascension path, if you are not offering VIP options or you are not asking for referrals, then you are leaving so much money on the table. Let me walk you through what a maximized customer journey looks like versus what people are actually doing. Okay. So what most people do is that when someone buys your offer, you deliver it, they get the results or they don't, right? Depending on what kind of effort they put in, and the relationship ends. Maybe you email them occasionally about your next launch, but there's really no intentional path for them. What you should be doing is someone buys from your offer, you deliver this incredible value, you're checking in with them, making sure they're implementing and celebrating their wins. And before I move on with that, I just want to drop in and say that that can all be done automated, okay? Automatically. You're not like, unless you have the time and you want to physically do the check-in, but you can set all this up in the background where it appears as though you're checking in at certain milestones and points. And you can always do like, hey, reply back. I would love to hear like that type of thing. But I am telling you, people do not have this fully set up and it makes a huge difference, okay? And then before they even finish, you're actually been planting these seeds about what is next. So once you master this, the natural next step is this, right? And then you have something for them to ascend to. It's if that's already created and it's already mapped out, it's their logical next step on their journey. Or maybe they don't need to ascend yet, right? But they're getting these amazing results and you ask them, hey, who else do you know needs this? And boom, you got referrals. Or maybe you want to go faster in a group program than the group program allows. So you offer them that VIP option to get personalized support. Do you see the difference? It's the same initial buyer, but in the second scenario, their lifetime value with you went from maybe like $497 to potentially $5,000 or more. That is the power of the no new lead strategy. All right, so let's get tactical. How do you actually build this into your business? Okay, first, let's map out your ascension. You need to know what the journey looks like for your clients. What's the entry point? What's the next level? What's the next level after? Okay, if you don't have this mapped out, you're going to be scrambling every time someone finishes working with you. But when you have a clear path, it becomes a natural guide to basically send people to. Second step, create the VIP or upsell option. So look at your current offers and ask yourself, hey, what would the premium version of this look like? And it doesn't have to be super complicated. You don't have to turn it on today. Just kind of get it in your mind like, and hey, where would I introduce this VIP or upsell? Would it be right when they buy? Or maybe you're like, hey, I have all these people in. What if I bring this in Q2, right? Or Q3, where whatever time of the year we're on, right? Doesn't have to be super complicated. It could be as simple as, hey, get everything in the regular program plus one-on-one calls with me or plus a group, whatever, right? Or get priority support in our private community and price it accordingly. A VIP option should feel a little like a splurge, but for the right person. It's a no-brainer because they get to go faster and they get more of you. Okay, the third step is build a referral system. This is where most people drop the ball. They wait until they're desperate for clients and then they awkwardly ask for referrals. Instead, build a process into your system, right? When someone gets a win, celebrate it with them and then ask if they know anyone else who can benefit. Or create an actual referral program with some incentives. Maybe it's a discount on their next purchase. Maybe it's a cash bonus. Maybe it's an exclusive access to something, right? If you want to find out more about Optima Funnels, I'll drop that in the show notes, or you can send me a DM on Instagram at Fernandez, and I can kind of walk you through what that affiliate system looks like. And trust me, you are going to love it. Now, make it easy for people to refer you so it will make it worth their while, right? We don't want to give them any more work, right? So that'll be part of the affiliate process where you're like, hey, go into your little folder. Here's some swipe emails, some suggested posts, right? All those things. Maybe even offer, like if you have an in-person anything or even a one-on-one Zoom call, maybe you can do screenshots of or take pictures of you together. There could be all kinds of ways that you can make this fun, okay? Just make it super easy. The fourth step is to re-engage with your past buyers. Now, this is the low-hanging fruit. You already have people who bought from you in the past. Maybe it's months ago, maybe even years ago, right? Just reach out to them. Check in on how they're doing. Ask if they need anything. Let them know about your new offers. You'd be amazing how many people will come back and buy again just because that you reminded them that you actually exist. And also, like extend like, hey, how can I support you? What are you up to? Right? You want to create this kind of community. This is where we're in this trust recession with AI, and it's so nice to have relationships and that community. Okay. Let me give you some examples because I know you might be thinking, like, okay, cool concept, Michelle, but does this actually work? Okay, so I've got a client who was selling a 997 program, and she was constantly stressed about getting new people into it. So I asked her, hey, what happens after someone finishes your program? And she's like, nothing really. I mean, they can stay in the community, but there's no real like next offer. So together we created this ascension offer. So we built a $3,000 mastermind for people who completed the program and wanted to go deeper. Okay. So the first launch of that mastermind, she sold eight spots, right? So that's $24,000 in revenue from people who already bought from her. She didn't spend any ad dollars, right? She didn't create any new content to attract new leads. She just offered her existing buyers the next step. Another client implemented the VIP option for her $2,000 course for an additional $1,500, right? You got like one-on-one monthly calls or something like that. There was a couple other little things, but it was definitely a little higher touch. So 30% of her buyers upgraded to the VIP. 30%. That's an extra $1,500 per student. Now, over that year, she added more than like $18,000, I think, to her revenue per student that upgraded, which in her case was 126 total. Okay. So in referrals, I've seen businesses cut their ad spend in half because they built this super solid referral system with happy clients. People were literally bringing them clients all the time, right? They were qualified, ready to buy referrals because they had an incentive to do so. This stuff actually works, but only if you implement it. So here's the thing about the no new lead strategy. It requires a fundamental mindset shift. Most of us have been taught that growth means more leads, more followers, more traffic, more, right? But what if growth actually means deeper relationships with your buyers, deeper value you can provide, deeper impact that you can make? When you shift from quantity mindset to quality mindset, everything changes. You stop feeling like you're like on this hamster wheel of constantly needing new people. You start building a business where your clients stick around, where they invest more over time, and where they bring you their friends. And honestly, it's so much more sustainable and so much more enjoyable that you actually get to build relationships instead of just transacting with people and moving on. And I know shiny object syndrome is always going on with the new lead source, the new ad strategy, right? The new social platform, the new trending, whatever. And those things can be great. I am totally not against them. But if you build your business solely and constantly needing new people, you're building on a really shaky foundation. Because what happens is when those ad costs go up, what happens when the algorithm changes? What happens when your lead source dries up? You're screwed, basically, right? But if you build your business on maximizing the people who already love what you do, you have this stability, you have predictability, you have the foundation you can actually scale from. This is how you build a business that lasts. This is how you create that sustainable growth. This is how you get off that revenue roller coaster and actually build something solid. All right. Here is your 1% action for today. And I want you to actually do this. Like pause the podcast and do this right now if you can. Ready? Pull a list of everyone who bought from you in the last 12 months. Just get the list. Now look at that list and ask yourself these questions. Do I have the next level offer for these people to ascend to? Have I offered them a VIP before? Have I asked them for referrals? When was the last time you checked in with them? If you answered no to any of these questions, you have immediate revenue opportunities sitting right there. And here's the quick math that I really want you to do. If just 10% of those buyers invested with you again, whether that's an Ascension, VIP, right? A new offer, whatever, how much revenue would that add to your business? And I want you to write that number down because that revenue is actually possible. Again, these people already trust you. They've gotten results from you, and they're way, way more likely to buy from you again other than cold people, right? They're going to buy before cold people will buy, right? So your action is to pick this one person from that list, just one, and reach out to them today. Okay. Check in on how they're doing. How can I support you? Ask them, what could you use next? That's it. Just one person, one conversation, small action, big momentum. All right. I appreciate you so much for being here with me today. Keep leaning into those tiny tweaks and stacking those 1% wins. Until next time, let's grow your business together.